Aloha and welcome to Lisa's Paradise Podcast. Today we have a really special episode because Morgan and I are gonna get deep.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Love
So
getting deep.
hit that like and subscribe, and then just tell us a little bit about you first.
Yeah. My name is Morgan, and I'm super into the spiritual hippie stuff. I'm originally from New Jersey. I work for a nonprofit here, the YWCA, and I'm a wedding coordinator and planner in my regular life. And then in my little side life, I'm super into my secret life, this spiritual hippie, all that kind of universe stuff.
So what got you into that? Usually people say there was like a defining moment or like a dark time or something.
Yeah, all of that, all of the above. I've always been into, like in fourth grade, I thought I was a witch and you would cast spells at recess. And I think we all went through that phase, right? And in hindsight, it was totally true. I was definitely right about me being a witch. But I was always into this kind of stuff in a way.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I was going through a breakup and was really searching for answers. I went to these islands off of Panama, San Blas Islands. There's no cell service there.
Ooh.
For a few days I was there. There's no electricity. There's literally nothing. You're just there with your thoughts, basically.
Oh my God.
And it was the first time I was really quiet, I felt like, in a while, and was talking out loud to universe, God, whoever. And I was trying to make sense of what had just happened because it was mirroring a situation in my life that happened previously. I was like, why is the same thing literally happening again? I don't get this. And I don't get why all these other things have happened in my life. What was the point of X, Y, and Z? And really just searching for answers and patterns and trying to make sense of it all. Cause I just couldn't understand what was the point of all this? Why did the bad things have to happen? Why were some people dealt an easier hand? Why did some people not go through these things? And it felt like in a moment, it was like a singular moment of before and after, the blinders kind of were removed. And it just clicked instantly of the same things repeating because it's a lesson that you didn't learn the first time. So you have to do it again. And these other things that happened were these other lessons, and it was redirecting you in this way. And I saw, knowing my own life, I saw it in hindsight of how it all was connected. And this led to that. And there was a lesson and reason for everything that I was trying to struggle, figuring out. And it was really powerful. And it was most powerful. I felt this overwhelming sensation of just gratitude and love and compassion to everyone in those situations that had hurt me. And I think that was really hard for me. I was holding on to this
resentment,
bitterness and anger for so long of just why would you do this thing? Why would you hurt me? Why? I didn't get it. And I saw it on a 5D level of, well, they did this thing because it helped you grow in this way. It doesn't make harm okay, here, but I was able to see it through a different lens of gratitude. It doesn't excuse things, but for my own journey and healing, it just healed me in ways that really nothing else was able to do. And maybe those people didn't even get it on that level. They just saw it in how we were interacting here, but I saw it on a different level of wow, thank you for helping me grow. And it gave a why to what felt like there was no reason behind it. And it just kind of delved from there, basically. So that was just kind of, it was a singular moment of just understanding.
Were you meditating a lot, or you're just
I was journaling. It started with processing the breakup and what happened there in the fallout, and then what that was mirroring previously. And then from that, I started just processing all the negative emotions I was feeling, not from that situation, but from my whole life. Every bad experience, I wrote it out and I sat with the memories and I re-healed them. And I gave myself love in those moments and did intense shadow work on this beach, on this island with no cell service for days.
Crazy. That sounds awesome.
It was so trippy. And I left, I felt like a completely different person. It felt like the end and start of my new life, basically.
Yeah.
It was really profound.
You gain a different consciousness. You're what the fuck?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And it was really trippy. And then a few days after that trip, I was at a hostel and I was still in Panama in a different area, and my laptop got stolen out of the hostel from someone there. And as soon as it happened, though, I was I knew it was a test. I just felt it. I was I get it. I just went through this crazy awakening experience, and now this really bad thing just happened to me. And I felt the energy of it. I was this is a test 100%. And I just stayed so positive the whole time.
How are you going to react? Yeah.
I was it's gone. It's a material thing. I can buy a new one.
Acceptance.
Who cares?
Yeah.
And someone needed to steal that. They probably needed it more than I did to sell it, to make money, whatever. And it just like started this whole trajectory of taking the first step into kind of a different life, basically.
Yeah.
That's the gist.
Wild. That's the gist.
That is a long gist.
That's kind of,
hopefully that made sense.
It made so much sense. It's very similar to like what happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I was particularly going through anything bad. No, I wasn't. I wasn't particularly going through anything bad. But what happened was, I had like a girlfriend at the time who really wanted to do shrooms,
Mm-hmm.
and originally she told me that her original plan was to do it with her cousin, and then her cousin passed away in a drunk driving accident.
Damn.
And so I was like, well, I'll do it with you, you know? And so anyway, not until I did shrooms, I feel like I really like woke up.
Yeah.
And then I feel like I've been like super tapped into like, like the world, like, I don't know, like how to explain it. But for example, I had such like a really inkling feeling that I needed to gain like a stability and security, even though I was like in LA, like living the good life. Like I was having a great time out there, and I was just like chilling. Like I was training people out there, and I was sleeping until like 1 o'clock, and I had like super easy life. But I was like, something's gonna happen, and it's gonna be really bad.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is, but something's like pushing me that like it's time to join the military. It was so weird. I can't explain it. Anyway, as things went on in that journey, you know, now looking back, I'm like, yeah, for sure. I was like, I did the right thing. But then COVID fucking happened. And I was like, yo, this was the thing that was going to happen.
Yeah.
And I was just working like everybody else.
Yeah.
Well, not everybody else, because everybody else wasn't working.
Yeah.
But I was like, there's something going to happen and it hasn't happened yet. I don't know what it is. So yeah, I don't know. That's,
you can feel like when you're on like,
told anybody that, but
yeah, that's interesting. When you can feel it when like you're on the threshold of like something shifting and changing. I felt that like this whole past year too, of just, you can feel when change is coming and like things are going to shift for you. It's like a preparation. Your body's getting ready.
Yeah. Wait, so isn't there like a retrograde going on right now?
There is, yeah. So there was just an eclipse this past Saturday, and then there's one 2 weeks before that, and Mercury retrograde and Venus retrograde is happening. Oh damn. So yeah, those are going into like mid-April, second week of April.
Have you like looked up, it's so funny because I haven't even gotten to any other questions.
Yeah.
But have you looked up like significant dates? So the reason I asked this is I was married and I'm now divorced. Well, we were married on August 18, 2018.
Okay.
And I looked up the date and it was like, you guys are supposed to learn something from each other. Yeah. And I was like, holy shit, that's crazy. And I had no idea. And that's the date that she wanted to get married.
Yeah.
She's like, it would be so cool to get married, like if it's this, this, and this. And I was like, that's so dumb. Like, like just because it's like the same number, you know? I was like, that's dumb, you know?
Yeah.
But I was like, wait, but like August 18, whatever. I don't know. So I kind of like planned like the proposal around all that. Yeah. Well, and then we ended up getting married. Yeah. But yeah. Have you ever heard about that? Because that's new to me.
Yeah. Well, that's been around that's the thing. A lot of the westernized spiritual new age stuff is new age, but things like that, like in different cultures, they've been planning their wedding dates around astrology for eons. This isn't new. So I don't personally know any ones like for my own, but I know that like there's portal days, the repeating number days.
I didn't know that, and I was like, fuck. So then I was like, energy. Best days to get married, like in 2025, like ChatGPT. And
first find fiance.
When should I get married? Yeah, I don't know. I was just curious, and I was like, okay, yeah, I gotta like keep this in mind for next time. Yeah, because it was like, oh, this is not like a wedding date. Y'all are gonna learn from each other, and I was like, oh my god, yeah. I definitely did. So it was an interesting story. You've never been married, have you?
No.
No.
Okay. No.
Okay.
No.
Why? Are you anti-marriage?
I'm not anti-marriage. I'm just
no.
I'm just very single.
What does that mean?
Very single. I'm not seeing anyone. That's all. Marriage is very far out of my mind right now.
Yeah. Yeah. You think so?
Yeah.
Well, because you have fun being single?
I do. Yeah. Ish. I feel like I'm at yeah, I do. I'm at a phase though of like where I'm in my old age of 30.
Shut up. I'm 35. You can't say old.
I I feel like it's like that's like you can feel before the COVID was happening. You had that pull. Like I feel like I know I have like
What
I'm
phase
meant
you're in.
for a partner. I do believe in marriage. Like I see that in my life. So I can feel that, and so I have a very good inclination of like when I meet people, if I know like if it's going to be something or if it's not, like I can feel the energy.
Yeah. That's cool. I was just thinking of like you meet someone, you're like,
No,
we're gonna get married. No, I'm just kidding. That would be cool to know that when like off meeting. It's funny how it's easier to know like who's not right for you though.
Yeah.
Than like sometimes someone who's like cool, like or like maybe you could match with, you don't get that sense right away or whatever. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird how people are. Okay, I want to get into. We have so many deep topics. I was reading the questions again. And I was like, "Yo, these are way
This
too
is a
deep."
therapy session. I love it.
Oh, really? You think so?
No, but it's good.
Sorry.
No, I didn't have therapy this week, so this is good. I skipped the last week.
Therapy with Lucy. It's a new segment where I give you horrible advice and I ruin your life. Okay. Do you believe every person has a specific mission in life?
Yes.
Like a specific purpose?
Yes. I think you can have multiple ones though. Yeah, but we all do, and it doesn't have to be so complex. It can be very simple.
Yeah.
I think as souls that come here, we all have lessons we're supposed to learn, and that could be your soul's purpose, is just the lessons you're supposed to learn. Maybe that's self-love, maybe that's confidence, maybe that's using your voice, maybe that is becoming a doctor or a teacher or something. It looks different for everyone, but there's a purpose, multiple purposes for everyone, I believe, coming here, whatever. And that could be small or big.
I always wondered that. I think so too. The only reason I have thought that is because I've had some friends who passed away really early.
Yeah.
And then in like thinking like, dude, that's crazy. Like, what did they mean to me or what did I learn from them? Yeah. I think that's kind of why like I've come to that conclusion, you know, because I've learned there's been a lot of people in my life that have had such an impact. Yeah. And maybe I only knew them for like a short period of time or whatever, but then them passing away was like made that known or whatever. Yeah. You
see that impact later in hindsight. And also it's hard too when like how can you justify with this stuff death so early or illness or these horrible things that happen. And it's both giving a purpose to it, but then also makes it feel you don't want to invalidate it though, like the very real pain that it comes with. But then there's also like a silver lining of like, well, this was purposeful. It was supposed to happen this way. So both things can kind of exist at once. Like two things can be true.
Do you believe there's like a predetermined path that people are on? Or do you believe like there's like free will? Or do you believe that there's like a hybrid of that?
Yes and no. So I believe there are predetermined things that you have to kind of go through and experience, and everyone's is different. So for example, for me, I was saying my whole awakening story was this breakup was mirroring something that happened in my life previously.
Right.
And if I learned the lesson the first time, I wouldn't have had to go through round two, but I didn't. So that was my free will. So I had to learn that lesson. That was predetermined, what was there. How I got to that lesson, though, was up to me. Did I learn the lesson the right way? Did I make this decision? So it's like we have these like checkpoints almost, I believe. How you get to them is kind of up to you. So you have free will to an extent, but there's some things that like makes sense. You got to learn.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you want to hear what like a psychic said my past life is?
Absolutely.
So, and I don't know that I never met this person. It's always a girl I was dating. A girl I was dating had a psychic, basically is what it is. So it's like, I'm always like, she's like, oh, the psychic said, and I'm just like, yeah, okay. Yeah.
You date the psychic I
never met. No, she wasn't a crystal girl. I'm into that. Like, I mean, I'm like Christian. I don't like, I believe in like a higher power and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not like worshiping like other deities or something, but I do like, I love to read about like other cultures and like what they believe. And there's a lot of things I've taken from a lot of different things.
It's all the same thing like, in a different font, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so it says the same thing.
Yeah, but
different words.
Yeah, exactly. But generally, like I'm very like spiritual and stuff. But I had in the past, I had gained a lot of like really good things from like actually going to a structured church. But it's just I practice a lot of stuff on my own.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there was this psychic. I never met the psychic, so I don't know how legitimate any of this is. But my ex-girlfriend at the time, she was my girlfriend, she told me that, which it could be true. She said that the psychic said that I was some sort of like warrior or something in a past life, whatever, that I could actually really believe, because I have a lot of dreams about like battles, which is interesting. And I never told her that, so she wouldn't have known that. But I've also been told that I was a womanizer, and this is the only life that I've been a female.
Yeah.
And I was like, is that why everyone breaks my heart? Like, what the fuck?
This is karma for all those lives. Like,
and I think, I don't know.
All those ex-girlfriends and past lives are coming back to
I don't know what the fuck I did, but I was doing some fuck shit, dude. It's not cool. But
I've heard that too with people that are LGBTQA in the field and all. They have been in previous lives one gender, and then this lifetime it's their first time as another gender. So then it's more like, it's how the energy shows up in a way, which is interesting.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no like desire to be a guy or anything like that. Yeah, nothing like that. But like I always was like into sports and like nothing girly, basically. Like you know. So I don't know. I don't know if that's true.
I think we've been all of it though. Like we've been. I know I've been man in a past life.
Yeah.
You know, I've done that. I've been
like our souls have been through it.
Yeah, your soul has kind of played every role in a way, in what I believe. You know, you've had kids, you've had no kids in another lifetime. You've done all the roles essentially, or you're going to.
Yeah,
you get to experience all of it.
How do you find purpose with everything when it seems meaningless? I guess it wouldn't be meaningless to you. But.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the purpose too. Purpose doesn't always have to be a big thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes the purpose can just be the enjoyment of what it is, the simple things. I think that's a huge part of the point too that we miss, is that it doesn't have to be, we're here to be human and
to exist.
To exist and to enjoy this.
Yeah.
You know, we learn and we grow, but we also get to enjoy like the silliness and fun of being a human and get iced coffee and watch sunsets and just like the little things. Like that's what makes this all fun.
Iced coffee is so good.
It's so great. I'm so grateful to be alive at a time on Earth where there's iced coffee.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
That's part of my purpose.
If that's your favorite technology, is coffee. It's been around for a really long time.
Okay, but like iced coffee,
they've like perfected it.
Yeah,
and they have like now mine is like what 210 calories.
Yeah.
How can someone align their daily life with their soul's purpose without getting lost in material distractions?
Well, first you have to figure out
what's your advice for that?
What your soul's purpose is and what you feel called to do and what brings you joy in those things. First, you got to figure that out before you can like really align to it. And I think there's just like a self-awareness that kind of comes with it. And it doesn't mean when you get into this stuff, you know, you don't get caught up in the silliness and the stress of the daily life and like those things don't matter and you're completely grounded all the time.
Yeah.
It's just like
you always get off track.
You always get off track, but now it's like you have something to come back to and you can kind of like remember this stuff and come back to it. Like that's what it is. It's like this like grounding point basically.
So are you really into meditation? Like do you like meditation?
I don't do it as much as I should, but yeah.
I know, same.
Yeah. I want to do it more. I want to be someone that says I meditate every day, but I don't. I don't.
That's funny. Yeah, no, meditating is great. When I like get massages or like I think that's why I like the hot yoga because of I was supposed to go with Ali.
Yeah, and you ditched her.
I didn't mean to.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm not gonna make it, bro.
Right.
And they locked the door, so it's like if I know I'm not gonna make it,
I'm
not gonna rush over there to like knock on a door that's locked. Like that doesn't make sense, you know?
So that sounds like a metaphor. It's some kind of analogy. Don't knock on a door that's locked.
Yeah.
Stitch that onto a pillow.
Yeah. That's like trying to date someone that's not ready. That's good. Yeah. No, you can't do that.
No.
Yeah. But no, I'm just horrible. I have to do like 50 things before I leave the house.
Yeah.
And I have no concept of time in my mind.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool, it's 5 or it's 4 o'clock.
Real, so.
Yeah. And then but literally I blink and it's 5 o'clock. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, there's no way my hair took like 30 minutes to do, you know?
Yeah.
But that's what the problems I run into.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, wait, I didn't do my 50 things before I left the house. And I hate rushing. Like I don't rush anywhere.
Yeah.
And my therapist said, don't rush anywhere. You'll get there when you get there. And I'm like, I like that. I'm going to use that. She's like, because it gives you anxiety. I'm like, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm never rushing. I'll get there when I get there. But that might be a bad way of thinking.
Depends on the event.
Yeah. I'm like late all the time. Oh yeah. What do you think happens? Okay, this is like death stuff.
Bring it on.
Do you have a near-death experience?
Kind of. I
Ooh.
got into a car crash my sophomore year of college, freshman year, sophomore year. Um, and it was like my car, I was merging and had my blinker on, and another guy was merging. He did not have his blinker on, and we almost collided. And then I swerved over to avoid him, and I hit some black ice, and my car hit the
Oh
guardrail
shit.
and then flipped and hit the guardrail on the other side
Oh my
too.
god.
And so I was like in the lane flipping at one point, and I was like, I'm gonna die. And I didn't though, obviously. That was my only time though. And yeah, I didn't even get injured or hurt or anything though. Like there wasn't actually like nothing broken or
That's
anything like
good.
that.
Oh
It
my
was just my
gosh.
car was fucked up. But that was my only actual like, yeah. And a few other
That's
like
pretty scary.
on
Yeah.
trails and stuff, like almost falling and things like that. But yeah, it's okay.
Almost falling.
Yeah.
I feel like that's normal hiking here though.
Yeah,
You're
this
like,
was in Utah, and I was like on a not a trail,
oh
on a
shit.
mountain, and it was all like gravel on it, and so it was
Oh
like
yeah.
sliding
Oh, I
down on the
hate
gravel, and I
that.
was like, I need to get back up,
I
and I
hate
almost
that.
fell off the side. That
Oh
was
my
fun.
god, that's scary. That's scary. I've had a lot actually. Now
Really?
that I think about it, it's
Yeah.
weird. Yeah, I didn't realize how many I've had. I've had a car accident. I didn't think I was gonna die.
Mhm.
I almost drowned. Like I almost full on fucking drowned.
Oh my God. Here?
Yeah. It actually made me stop surfing for like years.
Yeah.
Like I only recently got back into surfing within the last like 6 years.
Mhm.
Because that was so bad.
Mhm.
Like my older brother Daniel literally had to jump in the water and save me. This was at Sandy's. And
Of course, Sandy's.
yeah. But I almost drowned at Aukai, Pipeline, and Sandy's.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah. But I was like not afraid of anything.
Yeah.
So it like brought fear into me. And then my sister and I, it was really weird. We almost had a car accident together, but we both felt the car get pushed.
Mhm.
And we both like looked at each other and were like, what? I was like, I don't know how we didn't get hit. And she was like, yo, I felt the car
Yeah.
like she's like, that was weird.
Yeah.
And it was like a super, super strange experience that happened here.
Mhm.
But that was interesting. And like
Yeah.
to this day, we're like, we talk about it and our family thinks we're crazy. And we're like, no, we were there, you weren't there.
Yeah.
And we're like,
No, that was
to us.
some guardian angel was looking out. I
Yeah,
believe in
yeah.
that too. Like,
Well, our dad passed away like 6 years ago.
mhm.
So my sister thinks it was him. I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, I have like a million angels. So I was like, it could have been like a whole group of people.
I got a whole
pushing the car,
posse of
girl.
angels actually on the other side.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm a
mean,
big deal over there.
It's horrible that I've had friends that have died, but you know, I know they're like looking out,
Yeah.
you know. But no, that was fucking scary. But to this day, I'm like, remember when we almost died? Like just randomly, I'll text her,
Yeah.
and she's like, yeah, dude, that was scary. But that was like the pivotal moment of why I quit vaping, because my sister and I were having a conversation in that moment, and after that happened, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna stop vaping. She basically was like, I want you to stop vaping. And I was like, why? She's like, because I want you to live a long time. And I was like, fuck, that's a good excuse. That's a really good reason. I should quit now. And then that happened. And I was like,
confirmation.
Oh, yeah. Do you think that happens? Like where you get like signs?
Oh yeah, for sure.
What's your like angel number? Oh shit, mine is 333.
Mine's 666.
Isn't that like the
No, it's not the devil.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's actually good luck.
It's I don't know if it's good luck.
It's not the devil, but it's good luck. It's not good luck either.
But it's so it's a personal responsibility about how the good or the bad your mindset kind of can create that. Thoughts create reality. You can kind of create what you're in, and it's a good reminder of my own responsibility for what's happening in my own life, and to take personal responsibility for myself and what I'm creating and the energy I'm creating. And yeah, there's I
love that.
Yeah, I got a matching one with one of my friends.
I like that you have a whole penny. Or wait,
yeah, it's a penny. Yeah, that's one of my signs too. So that's for my grandpa. Heads up pennies were our thing. Butterflies were me and one of my grandma's things. And then this is a poem from my other grandpa. So I have like my dead grandparents here, and like those are certain signs from them. So whenever I see butterflies, that's a sign for my grandma. Pennies are my other grandpa. Yeah.
So you have seen like signs from the afterlife or whatever.
Yeah, fully. And I know like there's no like tangible proof that that's what it is, and it could definitely be like placebo effect and things like that. But I believe in that though. If you're looking for meaning in something and you find it there, like there's a reason why you found that meaning.
Yeah, actually, it's funny that you brought that up, because my sister just told me the story that, you know, like my mom, since my dad passed away, has always thought that like when I find coins, like it's him or whatever. But so anyway, my brother's wife was like very skeptical, and they were having a conversation about it. And she's like, "Okay, well, we'll find money at the end of the day. Like, we'll find my nephew, who was my dad's like favorite, literally ran up and was like, 'Look, mom, I found $10 on the ground.'" And they were like looking at each other like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, this stuff's real.
And I was like, "Yo," I was like, but I never knew that story. My sister told me that, and I was like, "Whoa, I never knew that story. That's awesome." And she's like, "Yeah, isn't that crazy?" And I was like, "Well, I mean,
yeah,
that sounds like something my dad would do."
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Let me drop $10 real quick."
Yeah. Yeah, I've had a lot of that, like certain songs are associated with certain people that have passed, and I'll hear that and I know it's that person, or I'm thinking of something and asking like for confirmation, and then a butterfly will fly right past me. And like little things like that where I feel like to believe in all that, you kind of have to believe, you know, there is an afterlife, there is like the spirit side of this, there is all that. And those energies they're right here with us. And so all these like signs or angel numbers or even tarot cards and things are just like a mechanism and a tool for that other side to be able to communicate with us, because they can't how we communicate. So they communicate in another way through these signs, through these other things, so we can still have them with us and get messages.
Have you ever had like a ghost experience?
Yes. Yeah. Nothing like crazy though. It was shortly after I got like awakened. Right after this kind of stuff, you start getting into this stuff. I feel like it's kind of like information overload and your senses are really heightened, and it was like a year of this all being like super magnetized, and I felt I was just super susceptible to more messages, more things. Both my grandparents had shortly passed after my awakening too, and like the year after people pass, like that year after someone passes, it's when like their energy is the strongest to still communicate with you. So it was like the timing of everything was like I was getting all this kind of stuff. So one time I was walking up my friend's apartment building, and her building's a little creepy. This is back in Jersey. And
New Jersey's so fucking haunted.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
When I went there, I was like, everything's haunted. I can just feel everything.
Have you heard of the weird state books, like Weird New Jersey, Weird California? Like there's like this whole series called Weird Whatever Your State, and it's just a book of like all the haunted places in your state. So this was big when I was in high school. It was like 2010, 2011. And so like Friday night, we would just pick a place from the Weird New Jersey book and go to it. There was like the Devil's Tree, Devil's Tower, a bunch they all had devil in the name. And those were our Friday night activities.
Let's go here, guys.
Yeah, let's go to the Devil's Tree and touch it.
Let's go to Devil's Hangout.
Yeah, that's what we did. It was so fun.
I've done that here.
Yeah.
Until my friend got possessed and tried to jump off the cliff.
Oh, okay. Well,
then I'm like, maybe we should pause on this game, guys.
Maybe this
game's getting a little dangerous. We also took a Ouija board to Milani Cemetery.
Oh my gosh.
Not recommend. I don't ever touch a Ouija board.
I used to, and I don't fuck with them anymore. We did Ouija board so much growing up, like with my family too. Like we would do it as like a family activity. It was just like at my dad's house on the weekends, guys. Like how can we bond with the kids and like merge our families? Let's do the Ouija board and talk to our dead relatives. It worked.
Holy fuck, I'm dead, yo.
It was fun.
Your dad's like, y'all are boring. I want to talk to some dead people. Let's talk to stories.
Uncle John right now.
Yeah. Holy fuck. So wait, what happened? Did like weird shit happen when you were
for when?
As a kid?
Oh, like, Ouija board? Yeah.
My friend got like stalked by a demon off that shit.
I feel like that probably happened to our craziest story there and this was like what made all of us kind of really believe in this stuff too, because we were all like a little skeptical. My parents are divorced, and we were at my dad's house. My stepmom and stepsister were there, and my stepsister and my older sister were on the board, and they have the same birthday, years apart, but and that's kind of how our parents like they bonded over that initially. That's really weird. Like we both have daughters born on the same day, like universe signs. But so the two of them were on the board, and my parents were recently married. You know, we didn't know my stepmom's family super well yet. You know, we're still young. I was like 9-10 years old at the time. So my sisters are on and they're asking basic questions. You know, what's my favorite color? How many siblings does Janet, our stepmom, have? And I kept going to 5. It was like five siblings. She's one of 5, but she has 4 siblings. And it was like, so we're like, no, like 4 siblings, but there's like 5 of them. And it was like, no, 5. It kept going back and forth. And we're like, what is happening? And our stepmom's not touching the board. She's like, just let it play out. And I'll redact some of the information on this, but basically we were like pressing it further and asking questions, and it kept saying, not mom's fault. Tell mom, not mom's fault. And we're like, what the fuck is this saying, basically? What? And it spelled out the name of a man, and our stepmom, who's not touching the board, was basically like, so I had another sibling that died when they were very young. They were given medicine for an infection they had. That was medicine my sister had taken, but we didn't know that they were allergic to the medicine, and they passed away. And we didn't know this. My stepsister, who's also like 9-10 years old, she didn't know this yet about her mom. None of us knew this, that were only she knew it, and my dad, but neither of them were touching the board. And it spelled it out fully, and it spelled out the brother's name and all of it. And we're like, how, like that. And this is when I was like 10 years old. So from there, we were all like, okay, this stuff is real. There's no way any of them would have known that. That was so like, who, my sister wouldn't have made that up. Like, how would she know that?
Right.
You know, it was like way too much proof.
Yeah.
And ever since then, we were like, maybe we should be a little more careful with this thing. And then
was she creeped out?
Yeah, we were all like, what the fuck? And then from there, we like still did it. And
just do one more time.
We still needed some bonding moments. And it predicted a lot of things that came true. Because we would write down like things, we would ask questions, and looking back, a lot of the stuff did come true that it predicted. It was really interesting. We asked about, we won't get into it, but like we would ask about the politics sometimes in America. And one time we were asking questions, and our Christmas tree fell over as we were asking questions about U.S. politics. And then it was just like, nope, can't tell you.
Is Britney Spears really crazy?
Yeah.
No.
What? But yeah,
it's Britney, bitch. Shit. Yeah, I've never touched a Ouija board. When I was a kid, my mom was like, "Don't ever touch that shit," and I was like, "Okay." I'm like, "Yo, now I want to ask her, yo, mom, what happened to you?"
Yeah.
But so then, you know, growing up, when I lived in LA, my friend told me a scary story about when she would mess with one, and she had like a demon following her, or something, and she had just had like series of bad luck, like continuous bad luck, and then she finally like looked at it or whatever and was like, "Fuck off," or like whatever, like go away, like whatever. I don't know how she did it, but anyway, so when me and my friends we used to do this ghost hunting, we would always do like a little ritual at the end. You know, and you get like that white sage and shit, so nothing follows you.
Palo Santo, clear the energy.
Yeah, because I don't want that shit following me. You know, unless it's gonna do my laundry or something.
Can it be helpful ghosts? Like
What do you think happens like the moment we leave our physical bodies? It sounds like you believe like the energy just transfers. Or like still exists somewhere.
Have you seen the movie Soul, the Pixar movie, Disney?
I don't think so.
It's really good. It actually like goes into a lot of
There's a Disney movie called Soul.
It's so good. I think it's Pixar. But it's like Disney Pixar. It's really good. It's basically about like spirituality. And I was watching and I was like, this is so cool. Like this is like basically majority of what I believe.
Oh shit.
It's really cool. And they show it pretty well. I think when the like exact moment, I don't know exactly how it happens, but it's like an energy transfer of you. Like I'm envisioning kind of like, you know, in Avatar, The Last Airbender, where he like goes into the spirit world. That's kind of what I'm envisioning in a way.
Okay.
But I do believe, it's like you enter that other side. And I really don't know, you know, is it like in the sky? Is it like a parallel world? Like what, I don't have that kind of specifics, but I do very much believe there is essentially like a spirit world existing after this. And that is kind of like the main thing. And then here is just our side quest of Earth, what we're doing for a little bit.
What do you think about, did you hear about the church that was selling land in heaven?
No.
What do you think about that? Should I purchase?
Do you also get like 75 virgins with it? And
hopefully there's like 4 bedrooms, I think, 3 baths.
Oh, that's can I just sublease from you in heaven? You make the purchase and I'll sublease from you. You'll be my landlord up there.
But that's a scam.
Yeah.
That's
a scam. There's no money there. What do you need to buy things for? That's
What if that's true though? What if we die and we were like, fuck, we're homeless? And then I'm like, hi guys, I'm like in my mansion.
Like, fuck.
You fucked up. Yeah, no, I know.
I would be camping on your lawn.
Yeah, no, I would let you guys. Burning Man on the lawn, guys. Do you believe in unfinished business?
Well, clearly, yeah, because you're getting haunted by all the women you were a womanizer to in your
No,
previous
I'm not getting
lives.
haunted by like I'm not getting haunted by them. No. I'm just so like no, I'm not getting you're getting haunted.
This was the dude that left me 4 lifetimes ago.
Fucking dead.
Now it's her.
Okay, I'm not getting haunted by a bunch of ex-girlfriend ghosts from a past life. That's not what's
Ghosts of
happening.
Girlfriend's Past.
But no. The psychic thought that I'm fucking crying. That's hilarious. No. The psychic thinks that because I was such a womanizer, that's why in this life I keep getting my heart broken. That's what it is. I'm not getting haunted by the ghost.
All the women you wrong.
That would be interesting.
Yes,
Oh my God,
I do believe that though. I think things are karmic lessons, and so it can take many lifetimes to finish out whatever karmic lesson loop cycle you kind of start. Sometimes lessons take multiple lifetimes, I believe, to learn. Yeah.
Do you think I'll learn it?
That's up to you. That's where the free will comes in. You can.
Yeah.
Or you cannot and do it again. It is a classroom. You know, you can take the class again, or you can fail the course and go to summer school.
Damn. Do you think like people can reincarnate into like bugs and stuff? Or do you think it stays with humans?
I don't know about bugs and all. I think those are their own, like with animals and stuff. Because I think they're their own like soul incarnated kind of thing they're doing. I think we are just the people.
Okay.
Yeah. But like cats, I think are super spiritual. Like cats are a like very powerful, tapped into this kind of vibe.
Well,
and like dogs are, exactly.
Egyptians
The
love
Egyptians
cats.
and like dogs too. Like dogs are like people's like soul animal, you know, like you have like people with dogs, like they have that bond, like they're like protector in a way. But I think we wouldn't incarnate as a dog personally. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. I think we just do the human thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. This is all subject to be, I could be completely way off base with all this.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a way of knowing unless someone died, became a dog, died again.
And then became a person and told us. It's like, that's a long con.
But yeah, I believe in reincarnation because I've seen those videos of like 5-year-old kids that are like, I remember when I survived the Titanic or some shit. And the mom's like, what? Like, you don't even know what Titanic is.
Yeah. I definitely believe in reincarnation though. Like I've seen like glimpses, I believe, of like my past lives, or when you meet someone and you just have that instant connection of like, you can feel, I've had it with so many people, like I feel their energy. It's like, I know you from it. Like
I've known you before.
I've known you before. We've met before. Like I've had that, and they felt it too of like, holy shit. It's like a re-remembering as soon as like we like see each other of like, we know each other. I've had that happen a lot.
One of my like uncles thinks that me and him were like Indians, like riding horses back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, he's like convinced.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sure, whatever.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, could be. Because he's also like Native American or whatever. And he was like, I just get the sense that we were like on horseback. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, probably true. Yeah. What do you think your past life was?
I know I had one in like the medieval kind of time.
Oh,
that was really significant. I've seen that a lot. I know I've had I had one in California. I know in like, I think it was like the 30s or 40s. I don't know why. It was like
during Woodstock, I think.
Yeah. It's like San Francisco area. I don't know why, but I've gotten that a couple times from readers that have like.
Have you gone there and like?
Yeah, like that's the thing too. Like I felt
familiar?
energy of certain places. Like astrocartography, I think is very real. Like where you're drawn to.
Yeah, I just learned about that too.
Yeah,
and like you can see the chart. All the lines.
Yeah. So where I had my awakening on those islands, I have an astrocartography line through it. It like that exact island.
So what are those lines?
What do they mean?
Yeah.
They all represent like different things. Like how like the planets are all, because like, you know, you're not just your sun sign.
Right.
What is your sun sign?
Wait. Oh shit! I can't pull up my phone. I don't know. I know my moon is Leo.
Okay. When's your birthday?
October 22nd, 1989.
Oh, you're Scorpio, October 22nd.
Yeah. Oh, is that my son? Yeah. Libra, Scorpio.
Interesting.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Wait, Libra.
Well, I'm on the cusp. So 22 is...
20th is Libra.
I think so. And then 23 is Scorpio.
No, 21
or
So
something like
it
that.
switches on the 20th. So you're Scorpio.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, you're a Scorpio
Did
sign.
it change?
No.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
I always thought it was the cusp.
No, I don't believe in cusps. You are what you are, personally.
Well, yeah, all the Libra stuff never matched me. I always matched Scorpio.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
Scorpio.
okay.
I'm a Scorpio moon.
Okay, what does that mean?
Trauma.
Shit.
Basically.
I'm fucked. Oh,
it's okay. It makes you stronger. And then I'm a Taurus, so
I think it makes
we're opposite
funnier.
signs. So like in the charts, our signs are opposite one another.
Taurus and
Scorpio.
Mm-hmm. Is that good or bad?
Good.
Oh, okay.
Well, for like, it means we get along, which makes sense. I have a lot of Scorpios in my life.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Interesting. My brother's a Taurus. I always, actually, I do get along with Tauruses.
Yeah.
And Geminis.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, Geminis love me. They're always hanging around.
Geminis love everyone in a way.
Yeah, that's true.
They can adapt. They're social.
That's funny. Who's your best friend, like what sign are they? Like, does that match up?
I feel like it's a wide collection. In my family, we have a lot of Tauruses and Scorpios though, which makes sense with like dynamics and stuff.
Interesting.
And then I've always had, so then your rising sign, you normally have a lot of in your life too. My rising's a Libra. So I've had a lot of Libras in my life that have been like lessons that always like good or bad. But it's like, it can reveal like the places where you learn lessons and things based on your chart. How did we get into this? I had a point. Scorpio.
I asked her sign.
Yeah.
I think, and you asked my sign. My best friend's sign, or she's April 21st, I think is her birthday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
what
it's
is
Taurus.
That? Taurus?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I'm the 26th.
That's why she's my best. She's been my best friend for 15 years.
Damn.
Literally my longest relationship. Is that crazy?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. You said your best friend's a Libra?
No, I just have had a lot of Libras in my life. Friends, exes, family members, like significant lessons have a lot of them been Libras.
So wait, so do you believe in like when people say that you date like certain signs? Like, do you think that's true?
Yeah, you're definitely drawn to certain energies, I think. Yeah, but it's not just about, that's the thing with like our westernized astrology. It's been like watered down to just be focused on the sun sign when there's a whole chart of,
because it goes down to like the location of where you were born too, right?
Yeah, it's really like there's all the planets, not just the sun. There's Mercury or Venus, like where all those are, and then they're in certain houses, and then they're also in certain degrees. Like your chart is actually so specifically coded.
So much.
Like you're a very specifically coded Sims character essentially, with how detailed everything is. It's not just you're a Scorpio. There's so much more to it than that.
Right.
But we've watered it down so much, and that's where things get a little like, oh, this is silly, because all Scorpios are like this exact thing. But it's like, no, there's like so many other factors that play into it that you have to really dive into.
Yeah, I don't like when people are like, sorry I'm late, I'm a whatever, you know?
Yeah, no.
Like, no, you can't.
You can't do that excuse either then.
I don't do that. I'm just late.
You're just late. You just own it.
Yeah. No, I show up at the right time. That's all it is. Yeah, I'm not late. I don't. It's so hard because
we're right on time.
Who the fuck made up time? You know?
The man.
That's what I'm saying. But like, I swear, sometimes I'm like, or even meditating, like sometimes I'm like, okay, this has been 30 minutes and it's been like 5.
What do you think of time? Do you think it's linear, stacked, circular? How do you see it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel like when I look at my watch and it's like the seconds are going, like that's not how I think of time.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to, if you watch me get ready in the morning, you would understand. Because you're like, you are not going to make it, girl.
Yeah.
I reschedule appointments all the fucking time. Like getting a facial, like my teeth whitening, all kinds of shit. And they're just like, it's like, they just know now. They're like, it's cool.
Yeah.
Like, we'll see you on another day. I'm like, you might never see me, bro. Like, I don't even think I'll show up.
Yeah.
But, but it sucks because I also like hate, like I like being like on time.
Yeah.
So I feel like I struggle between like my creative side that like just wants to like, I'm not doing anything today. I just want to do whatever I feel, you know? And then there's a side that's like, I need to have a structure and like a schedule. And I like battle that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, are you like, how do you live your day? Like, do you have like a list or do you just kind of?
I like to think I have a list and then the day starts and the list does not get followed.
Okay.
So I feel like it's very similar.
Okay.
I want to have a list and follow it, but then the day just like gets away from me and I'm like, yeah, same thing. Where did it go? It's very, yeah, very fluid with it, I feel like.
Okay.
But I
Good.
feel like I
don't feel
have a
bad.
general like ongoing weekly to-do list. And as long as I can get done what I need to get done in the week, we're good. We just have to figure out what time that works.
Okay. Yeah, you sound very busy.
I am. I'm too busy.
Yeah. You have the tell me about the nonprofit.
So I work for YWCA here. More people are usually familiar with the YMCA, but this is the YWCA, so the women's nonprofit. We do a lot with like the YMCAs are more popular for like the gym programs they do, you know. But for ours, we focus on a lot of stuff for small businesses owned by women. We have a lot of like circuits and courses that women can take here, or anyone really. It's really open to everyone, but we do try to structure our stuff to women, where they can get, you know, help them get an LLC, get a Shopify up and running, learn marketing skills, like everything to kind of launch their small businesses. We have a whole, it's a Y, so you can donate old clothes and apparel and stuff, you know, to Ys. And we have a whole Dress for Success program where we give free business attire outfits that we style to women in need that are, you know, trying to get interviews and get back into the workforce. We have a whole, the Fernhurst program, which helps women that were previously incarcerated transition back into
What? They have that?
the real life. Yeah, it's like a whole like a residential place where people can stay too. It's really cool.
Shit.
And then they can go through our Dress for Success program and get clothes to be interview ready and go through some of our programs to help them prepare to you know, apply for jobs and stuff. So we have like a whole transitioning program for women that were incarcerated. And then from our all the donations we get a ton of them. We do these monthly benefit sales too, where we sell back things to the public in like our gym, and clothes are like $1 to $10, and everything from there just goes into like funding our other programs. Next sale is April 23rd. Little plug.
Yes.
So it's really cool. They do a lot of stuff. I do personally a lot of our marketing, social media. We have a whole website that
What
we
got
run.
you into that? Like, how did you learn about that? I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah. Well, I got fired from my job. And
You got fired?
I got fired from my job in the mainland in 2023 summer. So that was almost 2 years ago. And I was in the middle of driving my car. Actually, I was already living here. But I was driving my car from Jersey to California when this happened. And I was just texting one of my friends here and was just like, got fired. How are you?
Oh my God.
And she's like, oh, well, great. And she was working.
Hey, you want to hang out? Just quit your job. I got fired.
I have so much free time now. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
But she was already working for the Y. And she was through a mutual.
Okay.
And the woman she was working with, I also knew her already. We were all kind of in the same community. And she's like, well, when you get back here, we could use some extra help with some social media and website editing and stuff. I know you can kind of do some of that. I was like, okay. It was supposed to just be a part-time thing. So I went there. I interviewed for it while I was on my road trip. I was literally on a hotspot in my car. What's that called? Horseshoe Bend in Arizona. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I was in the parking lot for Horseshoe Bend on my laptop with
Tell
a
me you're a hippie
hotspot.
without telling me you're a hippie.
And I was sleeping in my car this whole time too.
If you're sleeping in your car right now and you're about to do an interview in some place in Oregon for another state, you're a fucking hippie. But I love it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And so I got it. And then I came back here and started working for them. And now it's been, a year and a half, because this was 2023. Yeah, like a year and a half I've been with them. It was not supposed to be this long. It's supposed to just be like a part-time thing. And then I went full-time with them. And now I'm a contractor. But it's been really great. And it's been really humbling, because I was in such a place of like, I was working for this company previously on the mainland, and really saw a lot of value of like, I need to rise up, I need to have a certain title, I need to make a certain amount of money, and then got really knocked down when I got let go. And it really dismantled a lot of like my identity, and a lot of the spiritual stuff like kind of helped with this and made sense as to why things were happening, and helped me through like a really dark time. And then I started working for this nonprofit, and I'm like kind of in a bitter mindset of like not appreciating it, and like really just still processing what had happened to me. And now finally it's taken a bit, but I'm like so humbled and grateful that I'm like doing this work, making way less money, but it feels like I'm earning my keep in a way of like giving back and actually like doing something. I mean, I'm not the one working with these women directly in terms of the programs and stuff. I'm just doing website stuff, whatever, but it's still feeding like, into it at least. And it feels like, okay, like I'm doing something that's actually doing good. And that has now been a huge part of like my journey with spirituality as well. Of like, am I putting something out there that's like, that has integrity, that's helping this world, that's contributing in a good way? Like, I want to make a difference in a way that's not just like, my money's going to work out, you know, my bills are going to get paid. Yeah. If I can release that control that I need for the money of like, I have to be making this amount to be a success, like the money will work out. And it's more like soul work of like, okay, you're doing more of your soul's purpose here, and which is for the benefit of everyone.
Yeah. Well, money doesn't equal happiness.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
That's interesting. But
yeah,
I've definitely done that. I've learned that, I think, when I was like really young. I was like, I don't give a fuck about money. Like, I'd rather be doing something that's like, that like drives me.
Yeah.
And like makes me wake up. And that's all I have to say to people is like, if you have that's a great way to know, like, if you're kind of on the right path. Like, if you cannot wake up for the job that you have, like, you're probably at the wrong job.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like when it doesn't feel like a job, or, you know, like, I guess, how can someone become more spiritual?
That's up to you. I can't control anyone else's journey and how you get here.
Get a crystal.
Yeah, right.
Well, get a crystal and tape it on your forehead for 48 hours.
I think that actually that's a good one to end on. Because my whole point with all this, I've been sharing a lot more content with this stuff and like being more vocal about my own journey and how I got into this stuff. And I want to make this stuff digestible. You don't have to be into crystals. You don't have to be into tarot cards. Those are just other parts of this stuff that you can get into if you want.
Yeah.
But with the spirituality and all this stuff, you know, it's just understanding for me that there's more to this than this. And for my own journey, that just gave me a lot of like healing and clarity as to why things were going on that I couldn't make sense of, that it was hard for me to let go of anger I was holding on to people, as to why certain things would happen or people would do things. And it just gave me this clarity and understanding that I didn't have. And it like alchemized a lot of the pain I was feeling into power, into not taking things so personally, not seeing it as like this person hurt me in a victim mindset way, but I was like, okay, this situation happened.
That's
and
good. I can't stand people with victim mindsets.
It's so hard though. Like, I've been in it though. I was in it for so long. And when when you kind of grow up in that mentality, it's hard to know there's another way of thinking. If that's all you've known. I think
some people don't realize like how much power and control they actually have over their life.
Yeah.
You know, they think that, oh, this stuff is happening to me, but like they're not realizing that they're manifesting bad things for themselves.
Yeah. Because if all you've known, what's the analogy? If all you've known is a burning house.
Yeah, you're not going to know what the other side of it is.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was in for so long. Like, I didn't feel that, because like you don't have anything to compare it to. Until I had that like cracking of an awakening of like, oh my God, now the blinders are off. I'm not in the victim mindset and I can see this from this other level. And it just made everything feel not so personal. And it just healed me in a way and gave me just this, no matter what's happening externally, I'm good now. Like, it doesn't matter. Nothing can kind of shake me. And that's what like spirituality has given me. And if I can like kind of help anyone else, especially like girls younger than me, if I had this when I was 19, my life would be totally different right now. And that's kind of what I want to give with all this, it's just an understanding of what this all is, and just makes your journey a little bit easier.
Well, I think too, it would help a lot of people like deal with like depression and like people that have like suicidal like tendencies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just because it sucks, but like part of life is suffering a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that like people don't realize that.
Because that's why this is contrast here, and what I believe is past this, it's just love and acceptance and authenticity. It's all those like positive emotions on that other side. So we come here to experience not that, because if all you know is that, it's the same thing. If you grow up in a burning house, that's all you know. If you're just in the state of love, you don't know what that contrast is. So we come here to experience those differences and that contrast, because then you appreciate and you understand what the love is more then. So you have to go through those things to know the other side of it. It's a complete, what is it? Yo-yo, or the other side of the coin.
Like a yin and yang.
Yin yang. There we go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. So wait, plug your Instagram before we end.
My Instagram is Morgan Roussos, Morgan Roussos, and that's me on TikTok, Facebook, all handles.
Yes, follow her, and thank you guys so much for watching Lucy's Paradise podcast. Aloha.